How to get funding to start a business. Are you ready to start your business, but you need that funding? Were you told that you cannot get funding unless you already have an established business? Well, that's not true. I'm going to share with you how to get funding to start your business, even just a business idea. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
So let's get right into it. So many people want to start a business, but they really just don't have the funds. In fact, they say that most businesses fail because business owners don't have enough capital or working capital to keep the business going. Getting business funding is so important. And in fact, you can not only just use your personal funds or your personal savings, you literally can get business credit cards, business loans, or business lines of credit to fund your business. If you already have a business, go to noelrandall.com/bigthink, and they may be able to help you with business funding. Literally, it will be no impact to your credit score. Just fill out the short application. And again, you must already have a business with a registration with an LLC, that type of thing, but you may be able to get business funding in a matter of days. Now let's get into some ways that you can get funding to start a business. Again, if you have a business, go to noelrandall.com/bigthink. But if you haven't even started the business, let's talk about how you can get some funds. So the first way that you can get funds for your business is the way that most people do, and it's actually through friends and family. So many times people think that they don't have any friends or family that would invest in their business, but that is simply not true. The reason why most people won't invest in someone's business is because there's nothing in it for them. Again, if you can create a way that you can actually pay those investors back, maybe you give them some equity, maybe you even add them to the business registration, again, add them to the LLC or add them to the C Corp or the S Corp, you can make that person a part of your business. And in many cases, you're not just giving them a piece of the business, literally they could help you grow the business by being your business partner. And in many cases, we are stronger together and you do not have to do things by yourself. People are confused and think that, oh man, I have to do this by myself or no one is willing to help me. But that's absolutely not true. You have to just make it something where there's something in it for another person. So like I said, if you're going to pitch to your friends or your family, you could add them to the business. But more importantly, too, you can figure out a way on how you would share the profits with them. Maybe the first year of profits, you guys split them half and half, and then you will take them off of the business. I literally have partnered with many different people in my business, different people of co-workers that I've worked with. I've done joint ventures with people on fix and flips and different real estate projects. I've even partnered with my dad. He actually is my business partner in several of my businesses because he had really good credit and he helped me out when I was living with him in his basement. Therefore, there are so many people probably in your life that if you could figure out a way to give them a portion of the business, again, a tangible piece like 15% or 20%, they would then invest in the business. But maybe just asking to borrow the money without actually giving them anything is probably going to be a problem for you. But if you give them a piece of the business and then you slowly buy them out, that is something that most people would be interested in because again, they can see, all right, I own 20% of this business, but as you start to make more profits, you buy them out and you decrease the percentage of the business that they own. Here's a fun fact though. If you put somebody on your business and you have bad credit, for example, and they have good credit, they may be able to help you get business funding like my dad did. I was able to make him a business partner. We literally went through the paperwork, the operating agreement, the LLC, the articles of incorporation, and I added him to the business and he had a really good credit score and he was able to help me get business funding to grow my business. Then as the business became more profitable and I was paying him each month, his percentage of the business decreased. And in some cases, he's not my business partner at all because his percentage is maybe only 5%. Now, again, you may start off at 30%, 40%, even 50%, and then slowly buy the person out. And now you have someone to give you funds to start your business. Before I get to the next step, I need you to comment below. Do you have any friends or family that would invest with you? Have a conversation with me. I know a lot of times we don't think that we have anybody, but let's have a conversation in the comment section. Talk to me. What are your questions? What kind of people would you bring into your business? What are some of the offers that you're thinking that you may have for them? Tell me, I'll chat back with you and we can see and come up with some ideas to get you the funding that you need. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is an amazing way for you to get funds to start a business. In many cases, you do not need a business that's already running and profitable in order to start a crowdfund. In fact, you can go to the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, and you can find out about Reg CFs, which stands for crowdfunds. In 2012, the Jobs Act, which stands for Jumpstart Our Businesses and Startups, JOBS, this was implemented, and this allowed people to raise money from unaccredited investors. Prior to 2012, you had to actually know a person personally before you could solicit them to get funds for your business. But now, after the 2012 Jobs Act, we literally can get investments from people that we don't know, and we can solicit investments from people we don't personally know. This has opened up the door for many underrepresented businesses, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses to actually raise money from unaccredited investors and actually raise up to $5 million per year doing so. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to reach out to us at noelrandall.com/invest. We have investments that we do via crowdfund, and we help other people create crowdfunds too. Just let us know what you're needing help with, and we will be glad to help. Now, in order to do a crowdfund, you do need to actually register the business with the Secretary of State. There is some paperwork, and you do have to make sure you don't have any felonies or criminal convictions in your background, especially for financial crimes. Because this is regulated through the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commissions, you will need to make sure that you have a clean background and you go through the proper channels in order to get your crowdfund online. In many cases, you can get your crowdfund online in about 45 days, but again, you can raise $5 million a year through this. And again, people can invest $100, $500, $1,000. When it's your crowdfund, you actually get to decide. For the crowdfunds that we do, we have a minimum investment of $1,000. I did a crowdfund before in 2021, 2022, I think. I forget which year, I think it was 2021. And we allowed people to invest a minimum of $500. It was amazing. It was successful. I have so many great investors, and we still have that company to this day. It is called NuRez, which is NuUREZ. It is a property management company here in Florida, and we are still going in that business. And many of our investors have been able to come to our properties, stay at them, and we are still growing as a company. I was able to do this because of crowdfunding. You can do the same with your business. It doesn't have to be real estate related. You can do a crowdfund for your startup. It could be a t-shirt store. I even have seen people do crowdfunds for their music albums or their books. Literally, whatever it is that your business is, if you have a real business, you can do a crowdfund for it. Grants. Grants are an amazing way for you to get money to grow your business. Now, in many cases, to qualify for the grant, you actually need to get the business registered with the Secretary of State. So in many cases, people will say, oh, I don't have the business registered with the Secretary of State. I don't have my LLC. I don't have my corp. I just have a business idea. Well, if you actually want to get free money that you don't have to repay, then I strongly suggest you get your LLC, you get your EIN, you get your corp, you make a website, and then you can start applying for grants. There are so many grants out there, especially for minority-owned business, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and all different types of businesses, even nonprofits. But you do not have to be a nonprofit in order to get a grant. In fact, there are actually more grants available right now to for-profit businesses because they generate jobs, they create economic activity, you usually hire more people, and it is a business that is sustainable. A lot of times there are so many different nonprofits going for good causes that the grants are starting to dry up, but where we are seeing tons of grants are for-profit businesses, especially, again, minority-owned, women-owned, and underrepresented groups. And that such, there's tons of grants. Again, if you need any help with that, remember you can go to callnoel.com and get on the phone with one of our coaches, and we will see how we can help you get the funding that you need, help you with different classes or courses or whatever it is that you need to take your business to that next level. Again, that's callnoel.com. Well, I have a special gift for you. Are you looking for the funds for your business? Well, you need to educate yourself, and I have 2 books that I want to give to you absolutely free. Go to noelsbizsecrets.com and get my book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets and my book, Business Millionaire Secrets, for free. You just cover the shipping. These two books will help you take your business to that next level. Business Millionaire Secrets has all of my secrets on how to get business credit and business funding and fund almost any business and market it and take it to that next level. Readers are leaders, so you really need to get these two books because supplies are limited and we are almost sold out. Go to noellsbizsecrets.com right now and get these two books so that we can ship them to you immediately. They're free and you just cover the shipping and we are almost sold out, so go now. That's noellsbizsecrets.com. Noelle, N-O-E-L-L-E, biz, B-I-Z, secrets, S-E-C-R-E-T-S.com. noellsbizsecrets.com. Go right now, get these two books because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.